Let me dive straight into this one. Evelyn and Corey. Now, the last time we saw them on 90 Day Diaries, just so you know, folks, they had just moved to the USA, and the plan was for them to stay in an apartment on their own. But it turns out they're actually staying with Corey's mother, something that Evelyn is not happy with. Why? Because her relationship with his mother is not the best. Let's carry on.
My mom is Mormon and very religious, so with that comes household rules, and Evelyn hasn't really been following those very well.
Key point here. This man blindsided his wife into moving into a place with his mom that he knew she wasn't going to be happy with, and now he wants to complain about Evelyn's attitude or behavior. Well, look at it this way, buddy. If you had prepped her and actually told her the plan from the very get-go, at least then she would have had enough time to understand the rules. Now, I get it, they've been together for a certain amount of time, but most of their relationship has not been in America. Okay, so therefore, over the time, things can change. More of the story is that you can't be upset with her when you literally blindsided her. You gave her no time to really process any of these things. Hell, you didn't even give her an option whether or not to do the move or not to do the move. You completely, yeah. But let's continue.
Definitely been causing some problems and contention in the household. You say, "Oh my God," right to her face. That's a swear word to her.
Because I mean to offend her, it just comes out. I've been saying it my whole time, like.
How do you expect someone to undo something they've been saying for a long time? Listen, hell, even to this day, I still say certain things that were normalized when I was a kid that nowadays aren't normalized. Nowadays, if you say them, it's a bit of a sticky one, you know what I mean? But at the same time, sometimes it just slips because it's just a default setting. And that's not me justifying it. I'm just saying that for me, on the other hand, it's like a thing. So to be fair, technically speaking, I have less of an excuse, accountability, because I've had a long time to adjust to it. But Evelyn hasn't had any time to adjust to it. So I know whenever I slip up a little bit, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. Back in the day, it would have been a different conversation. I'd have been like, listen, stop being a softie. But anyway, let's continue.
Being back in Washington and just being around my family has really got me thinking about bringing the religion back into my life.
Of course it has, ironically.
How to live a happy, healthy lifestyle. I've even convinced Evelyn to go a few times, and maybe one day, if
the fact that he uttered the word, I even convinced Evelyn to go sometimes. So basically, Corey enjoys putting Evelyn in uncomfortable situations. Now, I'm not so concerned about Evelyn's attitude and how she's been and all that kind of stuff, because he has still chose to be with this woman, still chose to marry this woman. End of the day, as a man, he made the choice. So you make the choice, so you live with it. And now he's talking about how, yeah, I've been convincing her. The fact that you have to convince her tells you everything you need to know. It tells you that, broski, she's never going to really care. But let's continue. And to be fair, even if you convince someone to do something, you have to wait for them to tell you how, whether or not they enjoyed it or not. You don't force the answer out of that person. But let's continue.
If Evelyn is open to continuing to go a few more times to church, maybe she will convert and become a Mormon one day. That you'd be more.
Why would she want to convert if you've had to convince her to go several times? You convinced her the one time, I get it. Second time, subjective. Third time, she's not interested, buddy. And now he's talking about converting her?
Open to the religion aspect of,
10 years we've been together, I haven't said not even once that I will become a Mormon. So let me just tell you again, if you haven't understand, if you wanted somebody Mormon, you should have married somebody Mormon. If you wanted somebody Mormon, you should have married somebody Mormon. Period. If you wanted somebody Mormon, you should have married somebody Mormon.
Like you said, period.
Period.
I have something I want to do. This is a ring I found. It means compromise.
You know what the maddest part about it is? He said, this is a ring that I found. Found. The fact that you started off with the word found, anything after that you say isn't even relevant. Because you're only doing this because you found it. You're not doing this because you thought of it. If you said, listen, you know what, I've been thinking a lot lately about XYZ, and just to show my appreciation or whatever the words he needs to say to obviously make it feel better, I decided to go and maybe upgrade the ring or da-da-da-da-da. But nah, he said Found. Then follows up by saying,
And we start fresh. It means compromise.
then he says, the ring that I found means compromise. Huh? You found a ring that means compromise. So you didn't go out of your way to buy a ring because you wanted the ring to have the meaning of compromise. You found one and came up with the idea. You is a genius.
And we start fresh. Fresh, listen. Fresh start in the United States and Washington. Fresh.
No. Please do this. You think the one grand gesture just fixes everything, and it's not going to, Corey.
So Corey's one of those people that believes that each time things don't go his way, all he's got to do is do a grand gesture. And to be fair, maybe over the years, whenever he's done these gestures, Evelyn has accepted it every single time. And if she's done that, that's on her. Because at the end of the day, she's normalized, as long as you do grand gestures for me, then I'm always going to be okay to allow things just to be swept under the rug. So again, that is fully on her for accepting these grand gestures over the years. But at the same time though, grand gestures can only last as long as they can last. Because at the end of the day, if you're still doing behaviors that are repeated, or behaviors that are just getting to the point where even gestures now are becoming, grand gestures now don't even feel grand gestures anymore. They now feel like nothing but a manipulation. Feel like nothing but a controlling tool. They just don't feel grand anymore. Then that's when somebody finally does find the willpower to say what they're going to say. So listen, I give her credit for saying as it is, you know what I mean? But Corey clearly over the years has obviously done this time and time again. Again, like I said before, Evelyn may be a piece of work in her own way, but again, this man is the one that's still accepted to want to be with her and tolerate XYZ. But then now at the same time, he's now trying to flip her, trying to get control of in certain ways. Honestly, the whole thing is nothing but sad and unfortunate. But listen, folks, this is going somewhere, and wait for it.
I will not be accepting that ring. Corey can do whatever he wants. There's no way I'm gonna go back to live with his mom to try to become this Mormon little wife. That's not my life, and it's never going to be. 7 years, I don't.
Alright, listen, I respect it. She understands that that's not my life. End of conversation. But to be fair, at the same time, though, I will say this, though. In the same breath that she's talking about, I will never be Norman. And also in the same breath that she said, well, you should have found a Norman wife. At the same time, she probably shouldn't have married somebody who is normal. But at the same time, though, I'm not going to fault her that, because Corey would have sold her a dream. He would have said, listen, baby, it's going to be me and you. Don't worry about it. You're never going to have to convert. As long as I've got you, I'm good. And obviously, those are the words that he has uttered over the years of the very beginning. And now he wants to backtrack and go against them. She has every right to be completely annoyed with him. Even if it was a case where at the very beginning she had to convince him to, you know, move to it and all that kind of stuff. Either way, he accepted it. He accepted it. If he accepted it with the intentions of some years later to try and convert, what a calamity. But again, how many years has it been now? 11 years? Come on now.
I don't want to be loved. I want to be adored. I want to be praised. I want that guy kissing the floor I walked on. I just want somebody to take care of me. I don't think he can.
Well, I'll tell you this now, Evelyn. We all just want someone to take care of us, to be honest with you. We all just want that. But in today's society, that is something that is definitely becoming rather interesting. Listen, at the end of the day, this is the main thing that I picked up from every single thing that we just witnessed from here. Evelyn and Corey are 1000%, in my humble opinion, setting up to be in the next season of The Last Resort. This is how it usually works. They start showing problems. I think what it was is that some of them will start to show problems on their social media accounts. They'll start to show that they've got this issue going on and this issue going on, and all of a sudden they're in The Last Resort. So right now, if I was to take a wild guess of 2 couples straight off the bat that I expect to see in the next season of, and also let's just bear this in mind. It's a bit ironic that they've now decided to move to the USA and all these problems are happening, being filmed now. Actually, no, sorry, ignore me. That's not so relevant because Jenny and Summer live in India. No, ignore that point. Either way, though, for me personally, with all the issues that they're underlying right now, something is telling me that they're going to be in The Last Resort more likely. And so is, what's her name again? Annie? No, is it Annie or Anna? No. Anna and Marcel, you know, is it Marcel and Anna, right? Yeah. Because also they were doing the whole storyline, they were doing the whole thing on social media about infidelity, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they appeared on 90 Day Diaries a few weeks ago, blah, blah, blah. And then she also said, oh no, actually it's okay now. The infidelity wasn't a thing, it was just me moving mad, etc. I mean, to be honest with you, these are 2 couples right now that I'm 1000% strong they're going to be on the next season of The Last Resort. But Corey and Evelyn, 100%, I'm convinced. Anna and Marseille may not be the situation, but I'm convinced that it's a possibility. But either way, though, folks, we gotta stay alert. But now we're gonna move on to the last one. The next one is and this one is Emma. This one's a short one, to be fair. Let's get into this calamitous human being. Yeah, it's not a very nice thing to say, is it? But let's get into it.
I actually did end up reconnecting and continued seeing each other for a couple of months. There was a part of me that developed feelings for him, and there was a part of me that hoped it could be something more, but he didn't want a relationship with me. And he told me that I should go and focus on other people. I shouldn't be so focused on him, which was really hard.
Do you know what the maddest thing is, though, when it comes to the Emma and Rob situation? She says, right, in this whole nightly diaries, that her and Rob got together. Then they cut off ties. She went to Morocco, came back, things didn't work outside, and then she started to get back with him again. So understand this: if you got over him the first time and he didn't want you in a relationship, why would you think that the second time he's going to want you in a relationship? Calamitous. This is why I say calamitous, Emma. Duh. But that's not even the cherry on top. Let's get into the cherry on top.
And did put me in a little bit of a funk, but you should build a connection with someone before you sleep with them. You're finding love with these men. You're in lust and you're in love with an idea. How are you going to tell me what I feel? Emma, because you...
Like I said, it gets worse. How are you going to tell me how I feel? Because your twin sister has seen the pattern within your relationships. You tell men that you love them and you want to be with them on the first freaking date.
You don't love someone who you barely know and who you share no emotional connection with. People first. That's just me. That's just how I am. It's not. I know, but I'm saying that's the problem.
Doesn't even want to listen to the point that is the problem. Doesn't even want to hear any of that. Being a hopeless romantic with Emma, unfortunately, has put her in a position that is so negative. Because all she ever does is goes on dates and sleeps with guys straight off the bat. If she goes on a date with a guy today and she's like, you know what, I like the way you look, I like the way you smell. You know what? Do you know what? Pfft, have me tonight and hopefully I can trap you with this. I'm sorry, Emma, but the amount of times you've opened your legs for God knows how many guys and none of them have stuck around tells you that this here, the goods that you got here, they're not enough. Yeah, clearly means that that tool of yours doesn't work to trap me. Clearly means that you actually need to do the one thing your sister's telling you. Build an actual emotional connection. Actually get to know these men for who they are. But you're not doing that. You're just letting them get to know you for who you are whilst you're not getting to know them for who they are. And what do I mean by that? She's letting them get to know her for who she is because on the first date, she's saying, have me. Basically telling us that you're somebody that has no morals, you have no values. You're somebody who doesn't even actually value her own body. Okay, you're somebody that is more than happy to just open your legs because you like me, because you like the way I look. You like the way I look. I've taken you on one date. I haven't even had deep conversations with you. I haven't even told you some of the things about me or that maybe you need to know, but it was the first date, so we don't say them. You haven't even, I don't know, we haven't even been on a second date yet. You haven't even seen my home. You haven't even, do you see what I'm saying? There's so many things sometimes that is good to know. Now, of course, if Emma's goal was to go out on a date with men because she simply wants to sleep with them, this conversation does not matter in any shape or form. You do you. But the fact that she's always talking about how she wants to find a man to marry her and have kids with her and all this shebang, is why we're having this conversation. You're not going to find somebody with this type of attitude. And most importantly, the fact that your sister's holding you accountable and you're still rejecting your sister holding you accountable makes it even worse because it means accountability is definitely something that you're afraid of more than ever. Because in life, there are people who struggle with accountability so much, but sometimes they have that one person that they can hold them accountable and they'll actually potentially listen to. And usually in a twin setting, you usually listen to your twin. Whether you're, and I don't even think I don't even think it matters whether or not you're identical or not, which they are, to be fair, even though they don't look like it anymore, but they're all so different, which is fine. Either way, you listen to your twin. And to be fair, even if you take the twin out of it, usually we would listen to our sibling if we've got a healthy relationship with our sibling. And guess what? You've got a healthy relationship with your sister, but yet you don't even want to respect it. She is her own problem, but she won't accept it. And that is just a calamitous type of behavior. Calamitous Emma. Emma is forever moving mad. Emma does not know what being reality ready is. The same way I'm not consistent with saying reality ready these days. What's going on? Man, I need to fix up. Either way though, Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. We can talk about it, folks. But hey, stay tuned for some more content, of course. Like and subscribe and the whole shebang. Have a great freaking day. Have a great freaking week. Thank you so much. I'm out. Peace.